Welcome back to Metaphor ReFantazio, everyone! We've just escaped an angry mob. Also, we beat Zorba and finished the Skybound Avatar last time.
Kill anyone who stands against Count Luis! We fight for justice! Make them understand!
Well, I guess not everyone was swayed by Zorba's corpse.
'Tis a battlefield out here. They know nothing of their savior's true intent, yet the streets are teeming with self-declared military police.
What's a man supposed to do when they're running around screaming about justice with bloodshot eyes?
So it's a crime to even disagree now. He said this was just their nature. I suppose I can see where his disappointment springs from.
But your allies are working hard too. It's not all as bad as it looks.
We are grateful. We will believe in their support as they believe in us.
By the way, I talked with Nurus on how to get to Luis's location.
Once again, the goat comes through.
And of course, he said there's only one thing for it. Armor up the Skyrunner and dive in.
That's your strategy?
Think, my girl. It's our best play. But with no time for modifications, I can't say how long she'll last in there. I say, we've got one shot to charge in.
A proper dramatic do-or-die fight.
Yeah, that'll be the real final battle.
The road you run is perilous.
If we have but one chance, I'd say the final day is when we'd have even the slightest odds of success.
Right. That place is churning with the scepter's gathered magla. But if the casting steadily drains it away, then much of the ambient magla should be gone by the last day.
A proper dramatic do-or-die fight at the very last minute.
We would walk a treacherous tightrope until the very end. But have we ever done things any other way?
We cannot yield now. Luis's ambitions must be stopped, even at the cost of our lives.
But hopefully not at the cost of our lives.
Let's give it a shot.
Save the country! And we finally have a mission of maxed out difficulty rank.
You worked out some more of the truth, yes? Can you tell me more about what happened at the Royal Palace?
Oh boy, Battling. Sit down, this is gonna take a while.
Luis is Elden. Everything is as we were told at the Ancient Sanctum.
What? Bloody hell. That's a heavy hit right off the bat.
Luis knew the truth of the royal scepter. It's a divine relic that absorbs anxiety from the people. That's the fuel for its incredible power.
The masses have grown accustomed to a life where the king bears the brunt and responsibility for their anxieties. All this chaos comes from that dynamic's reversal.
Yeah, this is very metaphorical for people thrusting all of their trusting in just their country's leaders to solve all of their problems.
Might need you to slow down a bit.
Oh, we haven't even got to the most insane parts yet.
So that's his aim. Luis wants to make this a land of humans.
A drastic remedy to awaken the people spoiled by the royal scepter's power. And their horrific transformation is but the end to his chosen means. Yet I sensed some other reason to go to such atrocious lengths. He pursues some other purpose.
Well, if he's Elden, then Luis must have been there when the Sanctus Church made an inferno of his home. So, do you suppose it's for revenge?
Can't say. He also ordered Zorba to directly attack the Ancient Sanctum after all.
Yeah, he doesn't really care what happens to the people there. It feels like he doesn't really care what happens to anyone in this country, though.
Something he said stuck with me. About how he used to have dreams. Dreams long dead.
It's very similar to King Hythlodius. Yeah, there's that common theme of having dreams and fantasies, not just meaning like fiction, but also the kind of ideal world that you want to create and how fiction can help someone realize what their ideals are. And then you have the extremes of Hythlodius just lost his ideals, but he just descended into complete apathy, whereas Luis lost his ideals and he now wants to destroy everything.
I think he doesn't trust dreams. As in, he refuses to believe in anything that actually takes a risk, like connecting with people or personal change.
That is actually quite, because once again, this is more of metaphor taking a theme from Persona and like just taking it a little bit more of an adult direction, because things like connecting with people or changing yourself, they're the themes of Persona, but like here we've got a situation where like the villain, part of his motivation is that he just refuses to do that because it's too difficult for him. He'd rather take the easy way.
Maybe to Luis, dreams are just lies.
Perhaps he wants to push history forward with his own hands, like those of the world past.
It's ludicrous. I'll not let him get away with his self-obsessed madness. If we're to be ruled, it shouldn't be by someone who's given up on the world.
Indeed. Besides, the rightful heir stands with us. Should we succeed, you stand to inherit the throne soon. Are you prepared, Your Highness?
Well, we better be.
Yes, of course.
You really are committed, huh? In any case, we'll confront Luis on the last day. Until then, let's tie up our loose ends so we can fight with no regrets.
You've done a fine job so far. Time to follow through on those campaign promises, eh? Win this one for us.
Will shall become one of the few politicians in history to actually keep their campaign promises!
Look at what Luis has made there. Unbelievable. We're getting in there, and we're going to tear it down.
So yes, we've gone beyond giant scary king face in the sky to big explosion of pure fear and terror.
What's that about?
What's that about? Yeah, exactly. That is the Tyrant Star. An actual just storm made out of pure magma.
The hero draws near, which shall see the crowning of a new king. 22 days remain.
22 days left. Yep, that's still a while, but I wanted to make sure that I took care of the Skybound avatar early, one, so it wouldn't be a complete joke, and two, so that I could more clearly plan out the rest of my time, because, it's time for math!
The deadline?
After this, yes. But then it's time for maths, because I'm not American, so I don't say math. But I know a lot of my audience is American, so I have to say math sometimes.
We gotta prep.
It's awkward that way. So yeah, I should have time to not leave anything undone. Also, I get the feeling... Yeah, approaching the decisive battle. October 26th, the day before the day of the hero, where the new king will be crowned. Defeating Luis will require substantial strength and power, especially if you're going for a certain optional achievement. Spend time with your followers and travel the world to prepare your party.
How you feeling?
How you feeling?
Let's give it our all.
Beg pardon?
Wait, is Smash It All to Bits finally gone? Also, the truth of the Royal Scepter. A divine relic in the form of a scepter, outstandingly powerful, even among other relics of the old world. Yeah, I wonder where this originally came from. Has the extraordinary power to absorb magma from the masses and store that magma in large quantities, and is capable of unleashing magic equal in destructive power to natural disasters. The first king of Uchronia realized that its power to absorb magma from others was, in effect, the power to force people to forget their anxieties. Yeah, it's all metaphors. To ensure that ruinous wars like the War of Destruction would never happen again, generations of kings made it their duty to ground their influence throughout the entire kingdom. Their wish was granted, and the kingdom enjoyed a long peace, but that peace came at a heavy price, robbing people of the inward strength to face their own anxieties themselves. Now the time has come for the kingdom to settle its long-standing debt. Wow, that's very poetic.
Beg pardon?
Yeah, Smash It All to Bits guy is gone! He's been replaced by Beg Pardon Girl! Rest in peace, Smash It All to Bits guy. You will be missed. I mean, hopefully he's not dead. Hopefully he's just come to his senses. But still. Triangle Gallica. So, math time. So we have 21 days left until the decisive battle. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because this is a 2-day one. Quests that require me to go to dungeons, so that is already 6 days where I do not have a free nighttime slot. So essentially we can subtract 6 from the deadline, and we are brought down to 15. Oh god, I'm stupid, I can't do that in my head. 15 days. We also have Deliver Hot Spring Water. This requires 1 night, so that brings me down to 15 days and 14 nights. We have 2 ranks of Yufa and 4 ranks of Basilio. So that means that of my 15 days, I need to subtract 5, not 6. Because one of Yuva's ranks is on the Gauntlet Runner, and that can be done during any of those dungeon visits, so think of that one as essentially free. So we have 10 free days left. We also have 2 ranks of Nuras left. One of them, though, can be done on the runner at night. Now, my only chance to do that is on the way to the Incarnate in the woods. But it is still effectively free because I won't be able to spend that night on much else, so that doesn't reduce my night count. We are down to 14 nights and still 10 days. We need to do one more rank of Alonzo. That's a night, so we are down to 13 nights and 10 days. I need max Eloquence for Basilio and max Wisdom for Yufa's next rank. I am insanely close to max Wisdom, but Eloquence might take some days. Wisdom I can probably get on the runner, and that will also save me time. So once again, 10 days and 13 nights. I have not done the arena in Brylehaven at all. That can be done in both the day and the night. In fact, there are quests associated with it, so if I want to show off the all quests achievement, then I need to do that. Now, every one of the arena matches, I believe, is going to take a total of 10 sessions for the regular arena, plus 3 more for the arena gauntlet fights, which are also required for all the quests. So I need to, out of those 10 days and 13 nights, I need to spread out 13 arena sessions, which would leave me with exactly 10 free time slots, which should be more than enough to do what I need to, because I need to probably use some of them on increasing Eloquence, and at least 1 or 2 on the Martyra Test of Courage, because that's also an achievement. Amendment in post. There is one more quest that requires a dungeon trip that unlocks after finishing the other 3 Trials of the Dragon. So I have 1 less day and 1 less night than I said here. But we still have some other unfinished business to achieve. Let's sell my stuff. I could also appraise a bunch of things that I found in the Skybound Avatar. But I also need to think about purifications, because oh boy are some of the Skybound Avatar purifications amazing. Curseblade Nile, perfect for fighting bosses in Radiant Dawn. And the rest of these are like, eh. Another Curseblade Nile. I already have one of those. Oh, that's kind of solid. In fact, increasing ice strength on Yufa, on Summoner, is not something that I had before, I believe. Orichalcum Knives, and Orichalcum Vest, okay. But where we were actually going is to our good friend, I can't believe I'm saying that, Godot. So, we can now purify. Yeah, here we go. Look at all of these things. Yeah, they give you some really insanely good stuff in the Skybound Avatar. We can turn that one sword into Amenor Habakiri, increased damage against humans. The Lance of Judgment is, in my opinion, way more important. Increases the chance of counter skills activating, which makes Royal Knight significantly better than it would otherwise be. So let's do that for Hulkenberg. That'll probably be her thing for most of the rest of the game. Divine Fist, increased damage to Undead. Golden Wing Amicus, decrease the cost of money skills, but doesn't reduce their strength. Genbu's Staff. Oh, well, we just got an even better ice boosting thing. That's not a bad idea, but oh boy, Edge of Calamity increases strike attack strength. That's also very tempting. But yeah, the Artisan headgear we got can turn into 3 different things. Increase evasion against Slash, Pierce, or Strike. Once you've made one of these, you can swap it to any of the others at a significantly reduced cost. And I don't think it will cost any of the waters either. And this right here is one of the more important ones. The sealed gauntlets can turn into either Asura's hands, significantly increasing slash strength, Yaksha's hands, significantly increase pierce, or Rakshasa's hands, significantly increase strength. All three of these are the Surge skills, so they're otherwise exclusive to royal archetypes. So yeah, very good, and in particular, yeah, this one's kind of nice because with that, and then with Stroll and Royal Warrior, you can have Stroll and Basilio with the best Peerless Stonecleavers in the game. But that one can be nice for snipers, and that one's also nice for Basilio until he gets Royal Berserker. And also if you want to use Berserker on Will, but why would you not use Prince at this point? So yeah, I definitely want to use one of my Heavenly Waters on this, and it should probably be the Slash version. Yeah, see, from now on I can swap it to anyone I want for just 50 Reeve and no items. So yeah, we'll actually just swap that over to Rakshasa at the moment, until Basilio gets Royal Berserker. But now it's a matter of, yeah, I can only get myself one of these. I mean, I will be getting more Heavenly Waters later, so I think this is just more generally useful, especially since Strike is one of the most common enemy weaknesses in the game. So I'll take that.
I get it.
Oh, I can still make the headgear with my remaining Heavenly Water. It's kind of hard because, like, really you want evasion against everything. It's kind of hard to tell which of these is going to be more common in the Tyrant Star. Like, Luis has a few slash attacks, but if you're going dodge tanking against Luis, you really just want the Dodger Ring. I think I will hold off for now. And now a trip to Altaberry for two reasons.
Let's go.
One of them is the equivalent meme to steamed hams in Uchronia, steamed buns, except these are actually steamed. Yeah, you'll notice that some people in towns are, like, it's no longer unanimously negative. Some people in town are supporting Will now. Going for Bracken this time because that's like 200 MP recovery with Tycoon.
Greeting.
Ah. I was gonna say, the other reason to go to Altaberry is to restock these, but I get a discount on them now thanks to Katharina. I'll take 10 of those now, and I'll restock myself the 10 of those. You know what? I think it's fitting that we grab our mag from the King's Rock now.
Isn't that...
Finally, our face is very clearly visible on the rock, though Luis is still a little bigger than us. We have some time to change that. So, logically speaking, I want to go to the Incarnate in the Woods now. But I also feel like doing a dungeon, which I like to keep this to one part, and I don't really like to cut things out in the middle of a trip to a dungeon. It feels like that might not really work when it comes to structuring these videos, so maybe instead is to do a speech here, because I really, really need eloquence to go for Basilio.
This place.
This place.
This place? This place. And this does feel weird to, like, waste a day so soon, but I suppose we can keep the focus of this part on those cutscenes. And tonight, I'll be able to rank up Alonzo. Yeah, so we need to get through to a crowd that clearly hates us. These ones I actually didn't get right on my first playthrough that often. The correct answer here is apparently you'd have Luis as king. Hopefully the guidebook doesn't steer me wrong.
Picture it!
Yes, very, very true. I have a whole talk about Luis as a villain and the Shin Megami Tensei Chaos alignment and everything, but I'll go into that in the final dungeon. I feel like that's the most appropriate place. So yeah, you get a whole ring of eloquence for that. And that was enough to max us out. Eloquence does feel like the stat that, like, takes the longest to go up, because, like, there aren't a lot of books in the runner that you can read for it, but the late game speeches give you a massive ton of it. So yeah, that feels like an afternoon well spent. It does feel a little awkward to be getting, like, all of the virtues max while I'm on the runner, and not even, like, in a public place. Oop. Yeah, finally we're at a point where we can't gain any more popularity from anything. But, now that it is nighttime, I'll still be able to get a... Oh, hi, Neuros. I'll still be able to get an archetype bio in this part. Because, yeah, we can't hear Alonzo's voice anymore. But there's still one more rank left. Go talk with him, huh? Well, yeah, turns out him was this landowner, and oh, he actually has a name, huh? Okay. And nothing here is gonna give any mag. Because, you know, Alonzo's dead. There's no more bond for us to be drawing power from.
Allow me to introduce myself once again. My name is Dutteram. I'd like to thank you for your assistance.
And this guy joins, Godot on my list of characters I never expected to get a redemption arc, but they did.
Why did you kill Alonzo?
Just thought he'd be another, you know, greedy landowner who gets scammed by Alonzo and that's the end of it and would stay a villain forever, but no, this guy's actually turned himself around.
I understand that you're angry, and rightfully so, but please, hear me out. The execution was proposed by Alonzo himself. He agreed to bear the weight of my crimes and die with them. That is, under one condition. He had me declare my support for your candidacy by naming you as the key figure who put an end to the people's suffering. And in doing so, Alonzo would accomplish his goal, to bring you great renown.
Yeah, that's what it felt like he was doing.
He didn't need to die for something like that.
Oh, right, now I'm finally coming back to me. Another reason why Alonzo is my favorite Bond in the game from a story standpoint. Will shows incredible emotion in his voice dialogue here. Like, way more than I would expect from a quote-unquote self-insert protagonist.
Perhaps it was meant to be a form of atonement. By giving you recognition and building your reputation, he could pave you a path to the crown. He truly believed that you could change the world. Alonzo entrusted me with this letter, or rather, with his last words.
Oh no, this is gonna suck.
I wager you must be furious with me. I'm sorry I didn't let you in on the plan. I knew you would be against it. Believe it or not, I considered myself a just person. My cons were always in the service of a greater good. I convinced myself that it was all for my hometown, for my mother. But that pretense crumbled away, along with her life. I realized everything I'd done was out of my own selfish desires. Such a man ought to die. So, I found a way to make a worthy end of it. Come to think of it, death, too, is perhaps its own selfish escape. When you stopped me, I could finally confront that about myself. The truth of the matter is, I like lying. I like tricking people. Perhaps I never needed to be a good person. On the day of my execution, you'll be lauded as a hero, and everyone in attendance will be none the wiser about my deception. Yes, before long, you'll ascend to the throne, and the world will become a slightly better place. All thanks to my lies. I've done far too much wrong in my life. But in my final moments, I will become the kind of person I've always aspired to be. I owe it all to you. Even though I know this wasn't the conclusion you wished for, you have my gratitude.
The devious schemer, Alonzo, keeper and heritor of the Faker's virtues. Your tempered bond has become a fire-forged trust. Thus, a new pinnacle of heroism awakens within thee. By the grace of his newfound powers, work to give truth to our hopes, and fulfill thy destiny.
Remember your promise. Become the king.
Does feel fitting that we're leaving this to so late. Only 2 more archetypes left until we have them all. But now, this one.
So this is the true Trickster.
The Trickster archetype isn't too hard to get, only requiring maxed out Faker. Its stats are still mediocre, but it keeps its ailment resistance. And it keeps Faker's roguery at rank 1, which as always is abusable via the retry battle function. And at rank 5, it gets the actually unique ability in this game to give MP to an ally. Other Shin Megami Tensei games have this as Makatora, and even Final Fantasy has a skill like this. But if you want to do that in Metaphor, this is your only option. At rank 8, you get the interestingly named Pain in the Box for a 40% chance of daze, best combined with Masked Dancer to raise the odds of ailments. And at rank 13, you get the real reason why you wanted to get this archetype, besides Alonzo's Bond being goated, Debilitate. In any Shin Megami Tensei game, this is one of the best skills in the game. Maybe not so much here because you can steal Debilitate items off of Cyclopses, but it's always good to have this in skill form. And at rank 20, you get the very interesting Lucky Slash, which randomly hits for either 90, 180, 216, or 360 power. Now, the ultimate Faker weapon has the ability Improve Skills with Random Effects, and what that does is it makes this skill always hit for the max power. The problem is, it is gonna take ages to get that weapon, so it's not practically that useful. Though to be fair, 260 power is the equivalent of most synthesis skills for a non-synthesis and only 18 MP, so in New Game Plus runs, might actually be good. Speaking of synthesis though, Trickster still has free juggling. It, for some reason, still has Debilitate as a synthesis skill, but its most interesting is Miracle Cirque, which is a 3-person attack, but it's one of those 0 MP physical almighty ones, and that means it's also buffed by weapons with the Improve Skills that cost 0 MP ability. In general, Juna wants this, most other people want it for Debilitates. Trickster might have low stats, but it's a very good archetype. Okay, not to ruin the mood, but just a fair warning. I recorded this archetype bio way earlier, so it doesn't match the tone of this scene, that's why. Yeah, for some reason I thought that I'd finished this one way earlier than I did.
Are you all right?
I have to win, no matter what.
You mustn't be hasty. Alonzo believed you could bring about a better future, didn't he? You there, bring him what we've discussed. This is Alonzo's fortune. Though half of it was pinched from my coffers. Still, the fact that he managed to steal all this is quite impressive.
What are you planning to do with it?
Rest assured, I won't be taking it with me. Not after all that's happened. Alonzo intended to give this money to his village, but he was terribly distraught when they wouldn't accept it. However, if you, the hero, were to give them the money, that'd be a different matter. Might you donate his fortune in your name?
If that is my friend's wish, then I will.
Thank you. Please grant this wish of his. I'll make arrangements for a coachman to transport this to the village. Until then, his property shall be in my care. Come speak with me once you've arrived. I ask this of you in his stead.
This one's important.
So, there is actually a quest for this. And we'll think about when to do that. It doesn't take up time, I'm pretty sure.
The day of the hero draws near, which shall see the crowning of a new king. 21 days remain.
Okay, I just realized my math was a little off because the last day before the final battle is always spent with a scripted event with all your bonds, and that takes up a whole day. So I actually have one less day and night than I normally would. But that still should give me enough time. Yes. The Disgraced Ruins, I want to gain a few more levels before I go there, because I want to make sure that I'm enough of a level to field kill the mimics, because once I can field kill them, I can use them to farm heroes' jeweled roots, and that will pretty much set me for the end game. So there's a reason I'm putting that one off.
Shall we? Truth is.
And now I can, you know what? I think I can go for another rank up with Basilio. Unfortunately, it's not until rank 6 that you unlock the next stage of Berserker, and I kind of want that before I head out to more dungeons because yeah, Basilio's kind of banging his head against a wall with class progression at the moment. Yes, the job that Vinca mentioned.
Thanks.
We've put that off for a little too long, but oh well.
Hey.
Okay, so for this one, the only option that matters for Mag is the last option for the last question.
No.
Oh, I wonder if that dialogue is different if you can you actually get this high before the Dread times, I guess you can call it, or like the Luis times? Because I know that some of the ranks in Persona 4 do have different dialogue because of the weather change that happens near the end of that game. So this might be similar. Yeah, we've been there. Okay, hang on a minute. I saw that sentence big, that's when I come in from behind, but that escalated kind of quickly in the conclusion.
No way.
Let's hear him out!
Hang on.
This is like the darkest case of hear me out of all time. Yeah, he's just fully confessing. I mean, not everyone who's living on Igniter profits, though, was directly responsible for your experiments.
What now? No. Why? Vinca! Stop! Ugh.
As much as I do like both of these, this is actually the one that gives you, yes, this is the only one that gives you Mag.
Well, then. No.
Yeah, I feel like if he was still with Luis, he probably would have helped him.
No.
But things have changed now. And this part of Basilio's bond I find very fascinating. It's a sign to me of just how like it's hard to like I don't know if mature is the right word, but like here's the thing, like there are different tones when it comes to games and media and stories like this. In a game with a light, and I'm not saying that Metaphor is like a super bleak tone game. It's definitely a very optimistic game and hopeful game. But it also isn't afraid to go in darker directions.
I've got to decide my path now.
And I feel like in a, say, something like Fire Emblem Engage, to go the complete end of to the like very optimistic end of the fantasy scale, in a game like that, Vinca would have almost certainly been framed for these murders. There's no way that he would be guilty. Because you could never have a character that sympathetic actually be the one behind these serial killings. But this is not that lighthearted. And I find that interesting. They were willing to go that way. Vinca actually is guilty. And it falls to us to do something about that, or figure out what we want to do about that. So, we've got a free nighttime here. This is actually a little different to what I expected, because I wanted to do Nuras's rank 7 on the runner, because it's like the main use of time, but if I don't... Oh, I know what I can do. This seems a little strange after all those just kind of dark rank ups, but I do want to do this eventually. Now that I have max courage, I should be guaranteed to succeed at the test of courage here. And although it might seem pointless, this is for an achievement, which I already have, so you won't see it pop up on screen. But if you are following this playthrough, you will get max achievements, well, hopefully close to max achievements. You can't actually get max achievements without New Game Plus, but anyway.
What now?
I'm just gonna save here anyway. Okay, raise your courage a little, extra special. I prepared an extra special rope just for you. Don't trust anybody in Grand Trad who says that right now, because they mean a different kind of rope. The super fine rope. I am not sure if this is the final or the second to last course that, yeah, I know I've done at least one of these.
Hey.
But yeah, the rope gets thinner and thinner. I'm pretty sure this is guaranteed with max out courage. Yeah, he does sound very confident. And we hath successfully bungeed! And that'll give us a little bit more mag. If this isn't the last one, then we will end up doing the last one later. But I think that's enough for one video, so I'll see you all next time when we head out to the Incarnate in the Woods, and we go for Nuras's Bond, and also, hopefully, max out Wisdom and get all our Royal Virtues to rank 5. See you all then.